From the quiet streets of Asmara to the blazing lights of global pageantry, neuroscientist Snit Tewolde is redefining what it means to carry a nation's flag. Rather than chasing the vanity of the crown, she has anchored her historic campaigns at Miss Universe and Miss World 2026 in a deeply personal mission, turning her private grief into a global lifeline for underserved children. By trading complex laboratory data for grassroots activism, the five-language speaker has proven that true patriotism is not found in the glamour of a sash, but in ensuring that the most vulnerable minds back home are never left behind. Without further delay, let's hear from her now, the true lady of the hour.
The day my younger sister was born, our lives changed forever. Not because she was born with Down syndrome, but because my family was suddenly faced with a question no parent is ever truly prepared to answer. How do you help a child reach her fullest potential in a world that wasn't really built with her in mind? My parents, and especially my mother, devoted her life to finding that answer. She became far more than Milka's mama. She became her fiercest advocate, refusing to let a diagnosis define her daughter's future. When I turned 20 years old, I lost my mother to breast cancer. And in that moment, the question she had spent years answering became mine, as the only woman my sister now looked to for guidance, encouragement, and reassurance. I wasn't only grieving the loss of my mother. I was discovering the woman I now needed to become for Milka. We had just begun building a new life in the United States. While I was searching for direction, I discovered Montessori education. Its philosophy begins with one profound belief: that every child is not an empty vessel waiting to be filled, but a unique individual already capable, whose abilities unfold when we prepare the right environment. For the first time, I stopped asking what my sister could not do. Instead, I began asking what she needed from her environment in order to succeed. I brought Montessori materials home and began working alongside Milka. And I watched her become more confident, more independent, more willing to try, more capable than what so many of us had ever imagined. That experience transformed not only the way I saw my sister, it deepened my respect for her and every other single child. Just as we don't expect someone who uses a wheelchair to reach the top of a building by climbing the stairs, in the same way, we shouldn't expect each child to learn the same way, because equal opportunity sometimes requires a different pathway. I wanted to understand not only what was helping her, but why. So I returned to university to study neuroscience, determined to better understand how the brain develops, how children learn, and how thoughtfully prepared environments can unlock a child's potential. Studying neuroscience confirmed the science principles behind the Montessori pedagogy. But I also realized that even the most effective educational approach means very little if a child is not given an opportunity to benefit from it. Around the world, millions of children with disabilities face barriers to education and inclusion because of stigma and deeply rooted cultural beliefs. And many African communities, including my own, continue to keep far too many children hidden. But I learned something through my sister. The world does not become more inclusive by hiding differences. It becomes more compassionate when we choose to understand them, embrace them, and allow them to be seen. That belief became the foundation of Designing for Diversity. Our answer is simple: we empower parents, because behind every child who thrives is a caregiver who feels informed, confident, and supported. We teach parents how children learn, how enriched environments shape brain development, and how small changes at home can create lifelong opportunities. Through our Milka's Montessori Box initiative, we provide individualized Montessori learning materials. During our time in Eritrea, we spent time visiting children and learning more about their educational experiences and needs. In partnership with the National Intellectual and Developmental Disability Organization of Eritrea, we brought together parents, teachers, board members, and representatives from the Ministry of Education for a workshop introducing Montessori education for the very first time. We learned about their current systems and explored how Montessori could be adopted into their existing curriculum, while introducing practical materials that can be implemented in classrooms and at home. We even explored a potential partnership to support the development of a future skills training center for individuals to build practical skills for adulthood. We also worked with the Ministry of Communication and National Television to bring this conversation to a wider audience and shift the focus towards the potential of these children, their participation, and their place within society. My coronation night itself became a celebration showcasing the incredible talents and abilities of these children on stage. I have also had the privilege of speaking at an Ivy League university and at the United Nations Human Rights Summit, advocating for disability inclusion and children's rights as an essential pathway to a lasting world peace. So my message to every family, especially those who come from communities where disability is still misunderstood, is this. Open your doors, do not hide your child. Let the world see. They are not burdens to carry. There are gifts entrusted to us, and gifts are meant to be shared. And when you do, know that the world may not understand them at first. Many of them cannot yet fully fend for themselves or express their needs, their dreams, or even their fears. Until they can, they need someone willing to speak for them. And who better than the parent who knows them best? So I encourage every parent to become the voice of their child, to advocate for their safety, their education, their dignity, their inclusion, and their future. And let us continue speaking until that voice no longer becomes only the voices of parents, but is echoed by our teachers, our schools, our communities, our workplaces, and our leaders. Advocacy should never rest on one family alone. It should become the responsibility of us all. My sister gave me purpose. She became the reason I chose this path. Today, I use my voice to amplify hers and the voices of every child who deserves to be heard. Through designing for diversity, I hope more parents will become the advocates my mother was and I am for my sister. Because when every child is seen and given the opportunity to thrive, we don't just change the future. We change the kind of humanity we leave behind. Watching someone you love, full of potential and joy, struggle to find their place in a world that isn't built to accommodate them. It has been my reality with my younger sister, a remarkable 18-year-old with Down syndrome. Despite her boundless enthusiasm and determination, the education system has often fallen short in helping her thrive. I am Sinit Tewoldemedhin, former Miss Africa USA and Ladies First Breast Cancer Awareness Ambassador in honor of my late mother. Today, I am honored to stand before you as the first ever Miss Universe Eritrea 2024. But beyond the titles, I am here to share a personal story. Not about my mother, but about my younger sister. A story that reflects the need for greater inclusivity and understanding in both education and society at large. When we moved to the United States, we had high hopes for my sister's growth. However, her reading and math skills showed very little improvement. UNICEF states that a substantial number of students with disabilities are still placed in segregated environments. And I saw this reflected in my sister's journey, because instead of being welcomed into mainstream classrooms, she was placed in specialized settings. I felt compelled to do something about it. As an assistant teacher in a Montessori school, I experimented with using Montessori materials with her. The colorful, tactile, and engaging materials made an unexpected difference in her learning. She began to grasp math concepts that I had previously seemed unreachable. But here's the catch. I didn't fully understand why those materials worked so well for her. Without understanding the why, I couldn't consistently help her in other areas. That was the turning point for me. I became a neuroscience graduate to better understand how the brain works, especially the brains of individuals with unique learning needs. This understanding has shaped my approach as a lead guide in Montessori education, where I now work to make learning accessible for all children, including those with disabilities. But the challenges don't stop at education. According to UNICEF, over 25% of individuals with disabilities report being fired within a year due to workspace discrimination or a lack of accommodation. I've seen this firsthand. A colleague of mine, a dedicated educator, was fired over a minor issue that was blown out of proportion. It was painful to remind myself of how easily society marginalizes those who are different. This experience, alongside my sister getting ready to start looking for a job, solidified my commitment to advocating for children with special needs to be integrated into mainstream classrooms. These children should not be hidden away in separate settings. They belong alongside their peers who can learn from them, develop empathy, and one day create a world that is more inclusive. When we include children with disabilities in our classrooms, we teach their peers to value diversity, and we lay the foundation for a future workforce that is ready to accommodate everyone. Nelson Mandela once said, "When you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation." Standing here today as a woman on this grand stage, I am committed to educating others, especially women, about the importance of inclusion in our schools. Every child deserves quality education, and it's our responsibility to ensure that no one is left behind. I'd like to leave you with the words of Haben Girma, the first deaf-blind graduate of Harvard Law School and an incredible disability rights advocate. A big part of who I am is because I grew up in a community that believed in me and practiced inclusion. So let us build communities that believe in the potential of every individual. Let us make our schools places where we raise future leaders like Haben Girma, where company founders create inclusive work environments, and where differently abled individuals are welcomed for their unique contributions. Together, we can make the world a better place for all. Thank you.
Salam salam kullukum, kama yamsikhum. Thank you so much. Kublakum dali baz agatami. CI Talk fan votes number 1 ስለዝቐነና CI Talk number 1 votes ምዃን ማለት ከዓ one of the top 10 ንናይ CI Talk ብልጫ ንምውሳድ እዩ ዝጠቅም። So ከምኡ ብምግባርና CI Talk ማለት voice of change እቲ ናትካ project እቲ ናትካ advocate ትገብረሉ ዘለኻ project ብልጫ ተወስደሉ ሽልማት ተወስደሉ at the same time ካኒ ናይ ገንዘብ መተባብዕነት ናትካ project መበገሲ ይኹን ወይ ንተኣምነሉ support ትገብሮ charity donate ትገብረሉ ማለት እዩ። So ከምኡ ንኽንገብር ነቲ ናትና voice of change ቀዳሞት ንኽንወፅእ ስለ ክትሕግዙ ንፅናሕኩም ስለ ዝገበርኩም votes ኩሉ ምትሕግጋዝ ብጣዕሚ appreciate ዝገበረኩም but again the reason why a voice of change ክትፀቅፅ ዝፅናሕኩ ሓደ ነገር I know ኣብ ምንታይ በፂሕና ኣለና ቀዳሞት ኢና ካልኦት ምርኣይ ስለ ዘገድሰና and that has been a good መተባብዒ ወይ ዝደፍእ energy ኮይኑና ንዓና more vote ክንገብር ድሓር at the same time ከኣኒ أنا بزودر زعتقوا personally بجكاتي إرتاح سماخة تطوع it's also because is a project is very close to my heart ودر أي تعوت طبق ريزالت كري له زدلي زبهكو نقر سلسخونه بشمك وداد بملك عكاتا رأيخا بشلمات وسيدكا تراي زي كونس اتناتي project ترقوم كهلوه لو تخلوه تصلوه خلوه سلازدلي نعي السوء يتمخنيات مساتف يينيرو so بوخ عوات نعي it means a lot at the same time كأني it's the issue سي تناي Down syndrome ولا ناي special needs ناي أمراض كلنا زلوهم أنا تمرتي كتابعو خحجوزو it's something كلنا عدنا زدلينا كلنا بمولو أفريقيا زدليو كلنا مولو عالم زدليو أقدر سنقر سلازخونه أبقوا مساي حبيركم كسرعوا مسنحكم بالتعمية زي ما سكنكم again كان بحدش clarify كبر لكم confusion كيف تقر voice of change تعاويته ولا بلج أي يوسد ولا تشلمات نيجنزب يوسد it doesn't mean up to top 30 خخوري نايتن نتاكرونز ورا درا دلوات حجي let's say ብልጭ ወሲደ but then top 30 ተዘይኣቴ ተወዲኡ ማለት እዩ top 30 ንኽትኣቱ ኢንተርቪው ጌርናሎም ንጎ እግዚአብሔር መስገን ስለ አምላክ ሰሐገዘኒ ወላ ብዙሕ ፈተና ይንበሮ ወላ ነሱ ሰጊረ ተባዓቅመይ ዘአምነላ ጽቡቅ ገይረ ኢለ ዝሐስብ but then at the same time ካ ከምቲ ናይ ዝሓለፈ ዕንቅፋት ዘጋጠመ ብዝኾነ ነገር በቲ ኢንተርቪው ጎደሎ ተተረኺቡሲ እቲ ቮት it guarantees ኣነፍተን top 30 ክኸውን دحر كم زستوى عليكم أفيكي كفتكو أفيكي في تنديد إرتراويان كم زينا أب كم زينا أمت كبل بزعبات بروجكت خزارب من النتو إرتراويس بناتي إكزامبل كاري حسيب ما أفيكي كفتكو جنبت كجبر زتان حفوتسي سم إرترا خطوات أنيحو I guess سبك أنا عيد راين عوتن لي أخونا نزخلو سكبر دلو إرترا نختصوع كمي عينت community كنزلوا كمي عينت supportive system مخانو نهاجروا له مسوات زخفل سب كمزلوا نخفلت إلنا عندنا أبزود الدرون كجمر كله زعتنا بمجمر يون زعتنا if كم بمقبركم voice of change إرترا منيا سب research كجبر كسب زخوون كوينو research ገይሩ ክንደይ population ክንደይ GDP search ንኽገብሩ ዝገበርኩም ኣምሲ it means ድምፂ መሃብ ልክዕ ከም ትኽትብሎ ዝቐናኹም ድምፂ ናይ ኤርትራ ኢኹም ትኾኑ ዘለኹም ድምፂ ናይ ኤርትራ ባዕላ ኢኹም ትኾኑ ዘለኹም ኣለና again ከምዚ ዓይነት ዕድል ስለ ዘይኣተና ኢና እምበር ተናኣቱሲ we have all that it takes ኢኹም ትብሉ ዘለኹም ገና ኣነ ኣፍሪካ ይከፈትኩ so if that's what it takes 10 قرش 20 قرش 50 قرش 100 قرش خفيلك انت دقا هاجر كتتصوعكم كا why not ገንዘብ ናይ ሓወይ ገንዘብ ናይ ኣኮይ ገንዘብ ናይ ስድራይ ዩዝ ኮዝ ጠፈደሎ ሶ ኣነ ክሳራ ናይ ገንዘብ ከጋጥም አይደለኒ ምክንያቱ at the end of the day ጁባኹም ክነዲ ጁባኹም ክትነጊፍኩም ታሽሙ ክትገብሩ ኣነ እውን አይደለኒ ጁባ ሓዋተይ ስለ ዝኾነ but at the same time ከምኡ ብምግባርና ነምጽኦ ዋጋ እንተዳሎ ኮይኑ ግን I will strongly advocate for it ዝግበር ንግበር vote ንግበር መንቲ after the ብጽሕ ክንበጽሕ so vote ንምግበር እንታይ ከም ዝሕግዘኒ እንደገና ክደግመልኩም ሓደ it doesn't matter CI talk ይተዓወት አይተዓወት ወላ CI talk ቀዳመይቲ ይውጻእ ወርቅ ሽልማት ወሲደ 12000 ሽልማት ወሲደ እቲ ናይ top 30 ግን ዘይከኣቱ ይኽእል ናብቲ ፋይናል ንተክራው ንምውሳድ so top 30 ንኸኣቱ ክትሕግዙኒ ማለት እዩ እታ ኢንተርቪው ሎም ዝገበርኳ ካብ በቲ ኢንተርቪው መሰረት 29 ኣዋልድ ክምረጻየን ብጀካተን 29 ኣዋልድ ካታ መበል 30 በቲ ቮት ያትመረጽ ብጀኩኡ let's say I did well ኣብ ኢንተርቪው ጽቡቕ ስለ ዝገበርኩ እቲ ቮት ምግባሩን አይድልን ይነሩ ኸይንብል እቲ ኮሚኒቲ ናተይ ማዕረኽ እንደይ ስትሮንግ ምዃኑ እቲ ናተይ ኮሚኒቲ ማዕረኽ እንደይ ንሃገሩ ከጸውዕሉ ዘይከፍሎ ዋጋ ከም ዘይብሉ ኢኹም ተርእዩ ዘለኹም በትናትኩም ቮት so why is Ertra voting so much how is it going look at comes after comment section ክትሪዎ ዝጸናሕኩም ነቲ organization ባዕልኩም ኣኽተብልዎ ኢኹም it means so much ምሽ ንዓና that أنا وكيلكم زخيد لكم مجمرة الناس ዝኾነት that this is important تاريخ نسرح سلسلنا تاريخ نمسرح أنت دا جنزب موزع لنا خوينو it's okay جنزب تملاسيو صح نقول صريحنا خنا مصينا تاريخ كن maybe they can go run خلينا so if that's that it takes please إذا تعرفنا أنا زلوا كلتا معلتي بذكاء لنا متن up choicely vote كنجبر the other reason why choicely fair you like أشيشن يزبلو زلوخا لك كم زنا election votes تجبر up choicely زجبت votes at least مجمرة خان ترى خوينا بنات صايخة vote تجبر so تنسخ أنا ختهبسي you have مسألة كسل زخونة بنات أجرهم له توسخ خدقم تدلي خان نعي نخد حق support نخد جبر وإرترا نخد تسوى عجل كفيل كاتجبر مالتي كفيل كاتجبر كل خاخ أني كندي وتي خلخ بتارتا دير إخاخ كم تقول محجز جلسكو ስለ ሓደ ትገንዘብ ዘለዎ ሃገር ነዘይ ብሉ ኹጽዕ ስለ ዘይ ብሉ ንሕና ኢደ ኢትካይልና 210 قرش ኢልና ዘዋጸናዮ ሓደ ሰብ ብሓንሳብ 1 ሚሊዮን 2 ሚሊዮን ኣምጪው ከይውጽዕና at the same time ካኒ በቲ population መሰረት ንኽምቀል ድሓርካ ተ average ትገምገም ንኽወጽእ እቲ choice ሊ ዓጽዮም ኣሎ ማለት እዩ so እስኹም እንታይ ክንገብረልኪ እንታይ ክድግፈኪ ኣብቲ ድብጽሕ ንኽትበጽሒ يخم تقولوني نيركم كل شعسو اتكال بعلي قبرو لخو بجكات أنا سكبروها of course ይጽልይ ኣለኹ ኣምላኽና ሓግዘኒ ሞጎስና ኸበኒ ኣእምሮኦም ብዛዕባ ኤርትራ ጽቡቕ ክሓስቡ እቲ ፕሮጀክተይ ክምስጦም ሙሉእ ሃረርታይ ኮይኑ እስኻትኩም በታ ዘለኹም ወገን ክትገብርዎ ትኽእሉ ግን እታ ቀዳመይቲ ቮት ምግባር እስ ኣበርክቶ ክትገብሩ ተደሊኹም እንታይ ክሕግዘክ ስኒት ተኮይኑ ብቮት ሓግዙኒ ነታ ካልአይቲ ኸዓኒ if you're able to come ንሜክሲኮ መሳይ ክትውዕሉ I would love that too ልክዕ ከምዚ ብሽከለታ ኩዕሶ እግሪ ቲፎዞ ዘለዎ ይመጹፍቲ ገለ ባንዴራኦም ሒዞም ከምቲ ክንሪኦ ዝቐነና ኣብ ዝኾነ ውድድር ኤርትራዊ ዝተሳተፎ ሞ ሳፖርት ክግበረሉ ዝጸንሐ መጀመርያና ስለ ዝኾነ ኣብዚ of course ወላቶም ሚድያ ውኡ ዘለዉ ነተን ሞር ፖፑላር ዝኾናተን ኣዋልድ እዮም ዝርዩ usually USA ማለት ናምነት ስፔን ሜክሲኮ ኢሎም ባንዴራኦም ሒዞም ነናይ ተዓዲ ይመጹምሽ ብጀክኡ ግን USA ወላ ሰባይ ምጻያ ብጣዕሚ ፖፑላር ዓዲኣ ኣብዚ ውድድር ዝክንደይ ሻዕ ዝተዓወተት ስለ ዝኾነት ሽማ ጽኒሓ ስለ ዝኾነት እቶም ሚድያ እውን ኢንትረስት ኣለዎ ንኤርትራ ግን ኣበይ ከም ዘላ ኸማን ስለ ዘይፈልጥዋ they're not interested حجي اتناتك دحركا خمزي نام ميديا خقوايا زي قبراني خاني حانساب كمزي كابتن كالوتا والد قرب اجس فليزا بلاني كاميرا خري اخلوها وين ميديا خري اخلوها عندها قوية يعني صغيرها they try to get their attention ولا صبوغيو it's a good experience but then at the same time كاني I don't want to be distracted أبزود الدرزي سرح نخسر حيلي مزي علامين خهارم كاني أو فوكس كقبرلاني تخبر زلوا يقبر الله بعقمي so media خمسة زي جبرة مثلا interact زي جبرة خا ناتي I guess ناتي moral item كفون at the same time جن كاب صاتهم كندي عشحات كوينهم حادث سب كده سب عصرت سب ناتي انترامج جن كاب default أو مليون سب هو خبلني اتيوم ناتي حموش تسباتا أجوخي متينا لنا الكي كلوني يحشاني باندير أم حيزوم ولا قد عمر عين بعلو so كتماتو زكالكم تخيلوا that's great but the other way you can support me كتماتو زي تخولوا تخونكم كا أب فوت كتقولوا زي تخولوا عدي credit card كتكافلوا زي تخولوا عدي تلخم share it maybe someone in your friends group has the ability to pay for the votes if you have the ability كافيلكم من ترى فوت كتقولوا تخولوا خونكم كا please do so بجنزرنا تاريخ كنسرح نقل انت رأخوينا موقع خمزة إيدي الكان تحققزنا please let's do it again ناي جنزبكم زي قد سني خوينا أيقونا جوبانا is organization I would صحن يوم I don't care about them أب جوبهم تأيني رزقات تدخون أمونا عايز يربحن منعهم زي يربحكم أو تو أي مبالكون يري but it's very important again جنزب تملاس يساريحنا خملسان خلينا but this is a one time moment this is a lifetime moment this is history making and بخلت agreement تطو قبل بتيا حج بحان تطراي تطويله دلخو the only تصفايسي interview تراي نخعوت خحلف مخمر صنا هابتن توب 30 الساتري حليفه جن بقى الساتري حان تدلاتني فوت بمقباركم جن بخلت اجريك ركز ايه زخون زلخو بت interview تتعاودكم مرحبا تزي تعاودكم اتون علاني A and B بخلتها من قدسي I'm ensuring كم خير بجيكو خاني Miss Universe Prof تناتهم social media 6.5 million followers alone على YouTube they have 30 something million followers if not more حجس اتي تمالي اب ستوري shares قبر كوا خماني the fact that كستو عادي بخندزي فوت بخندزي بوتاتات نقدميت مصعلا بسن كنت تجبرته فوت كندي نقدميت كم زمصد امبر اب كندي درجه خمزل اينغرني سو ولا زن هاجرات سين اي تعاوتا توب سرتي ايمصا they made sure شمن اصوعني وصالو ابز organization نزي they made sure كم زلوا ابز كارتاني عالم كنقرا so we are a small country geographically and also population wise but we are very mighty when we come together أريخم مني إخم أريخم مامي خم ن كامبوديا ونيات ولا نتوم كالوت on CI talks I believe you can do it again ناكلتا معلتي أخا نسوم ملو كنزفنا نوصلو vote تدخون كا I understand but سلسة معلتي كلتا معلتي ناقصاب علت 14 شو رايكم كنا again بزعبات علت but علت 14 preliminaries لزودا I think that's when the vote will also finish so كسب علات 14 زلو زكا عليكم vote كبروا and encouragement كونكم نعيون كونني when you're done taking your vote كيركم مسوداكم take a screenshot tag me and I'll repost it again thank you so much أبز بتحيو زلوه شلماتكم وصل ولا تزعبي ودرست زي hopefully that's not going to be the case but ولا زياد راي حزنا تنوت نيرناس أتيناس راح إجنا وتنا أتيناس at least شم إرتات تصويعه at the same time هاني زخونة بلج حزنا نوت لنا but الصوت راي خلنا ده I believe we can do more لأن تنقدم الزوات أزلوا تحتين يبلنا لألي أنا مبر تحتين يبلنا تنازو وددر يبقى يزبها بملكة يخون بلوبونا يخون بسنة سرعات يخون ببروجكت يخون بتمرتي يخون again لألي أنا مبر تحريقين سلسخونا بزن إشتي زواساتنا ينبلجة سقنا comfortable يخون كاب أتنا أتصبقنا أتي كنجور زلنا نكبر كاب ساعة كاب ساعنا تبو جرنا نقول أتي وسيدنا لنا أتي أخو وسن خلط خوينا let's do it why not حمشت برايس تلو يكالنا تخوينا حمشت يخمان نوسد so نخيلنا بقعات لنا and if نسقم بوجنكم بشيرن 10 قرشين 10 قرشين مخفال تخوينا نزن زمت أزلوا خلط معلتي please do so تايلوت يمتزاين فلتقلنا نتنزوت أخو من جنزب كأني أب عينهم بركوتات يجبرن and then at the same time كا زوج أخو كله بعلو أتصفى باليوم لا سالكم and at the same time كا hopefully it's زوج أخو خاني وصيت سلوه خونا لنا بعمل تصفى سو ودد كلتا معات التجربة على 10 4 على 10 شديشتن كنت ما تصفى يجبر if you don't can pray for me نكزاير موجس كبني and hopefully we'll do great. Thank you so much again. سلتي غلوه تكبر لي صراحكم.